Welcome back, everybody, to Teaching with Magic. We've got ourselves a little bit of a bonus episode today. I had a request on the website asking about sound specifically and how to work with sound and animation at the same time in PowerPoint. So this is kind of an addition to what we did last time with the Morph tool. Just going to talk a little bit about working with sound. Promise this one's going to be a lot shorter, but let's take a look at how to work with sound in PowerPoint. So here's the show that was asked about, A Day in Christendom. In this lab, students look at a bunch of pictures, hear a bunch of sounds, pretend that they are traveling back to Christendom. I love the use of sound in presentations if it's limited and it's done right. Next time you go to Disneyland, really listen for the sounds. It's so cool how unique they are to each land. Everything's a little different. I love when you'll hear a little speaker in the garden behind you, kind of making footsteps, stuff like that. Really cool stuff. So let me show you what this looks like in terms of sound, animation, that kind of stuff. Here's your cathedral doors. Story is you push the doors open, you walk inside. You hear that. This slide is one that does both at the same time, where you have the animation. It's hard to see, but you are slowly moving into the picture. And in the background, you hear the monks chanting, you hear your footsteps. The idea is you're walking in to this medieval cathedral. There you go. And if you look at how I did this, the animation chain's pretty small. It's not using the Morph tool. You could do this with Morph. It's actually a little easier this time to do it with emphasis effects, because when you are doing multiple animations on a slide, and sound does count as an animation, sometimes it's easier just to have them all in the animation pane. If you're doing Morph, you have to deal with the transition pane. It still works, just a little easier here. So I have my background image, which is this cathedral. And what I wanted to do is grow very slightly. So if I click on the image, and then I click on animations, you're going to go to add animations, and then this one right here says grow and shrink. When you click on that, you'll get a little yellow bar. Yellow is emphasis effects. If you right click, you can do effect options. You can change how quickly it grows, how much it grows. It defaults to 150, which is huge. So I changed it to about 110, 115 is usually kind of where I am. How long you want it to take, in this case 3.5 seconds. And then the sound goes right along with it. You can ignore this one, just a motion path that I threw on there because I'm picky. But the sound is also very easy. You go to your insert tab, insert audio, audio on my PC, pick one from your file, and it'll drop it right in. It'll usually drop it right in the center of your paper or center of your slide. Just drag it off screen. You don't need to see that little thing. Make sure when you go to your animations for this that it's set to play and not pause. And then you are going to want to go over here and right click again and change it to start with previous. It'll usually start with start on click. You don't want that. You want the sound to play automatically. It's very important that you then go into effect options. Check your timing, check your effects. Make sure that this button after current slide is checked, because that way, while the animation is playing, the sound will continue and nothing will interrupt the sound. In the timing tab, you can change how long it takes for the sound to start, not so much when it finishes. I guess you can do duration on some of them. This one it's not letting me, but not something I usually would do. And then how many times you want it to repeat. If you just want the sound to loop over and over again, you just click until end of slide, and it will go until you go on to the next slide. And so then you have that. It's done. Pretty simple. The big question, though, is where do you get these sounds? Where do they come from? So let me show you two places where you can get really good, really free sounds for your presentations. The first site I want to show you is for sound effects, and it is simply called freesound.org. Make sure it's .org, not .com. You will want to log in, register, set up an account, and then you just have sounds. Free sound effects, they're all done under Creative Commons. So if you want some steps like I had in that last one, see steps on ice, what does that sound like? Sounds like steps on ice. Anything you want. Sword hits, nature sounds, trees swaying in the wind. I like a lot of those little walking sounds. It just helps to add to the effect as you're zooming in on a PowerPoint slide. It helps it feel like you are moving forward. Free sounds great. Everything's free. Only thing I would say is make sure that when you click a file down here in File Types, you're really going to want Wave. The other ones just don't work as well with PowerPoint. If something is .wave, then it's going to work very, very easily, very, very well. So just look for those and you're fine. If you want background music and not just sound effects, there's another one called freeplaymusic.com. Freeplay has been around forever on the internet, and they have thousands of free tracks, royalty-free tracks, that you can use in your YouTube videos, in your presentations, as you want them. You can choose by scene type, so I don't know what an acceptance scene would be. Let's try that. And then by genre, and just pick whatever you want, and then you can hear a preview of it over here. Oh yes, very accepting. The other thing that I really like is that you can click on the edits, this little thing right here. Scissors, that's the word I'm looking for. And it'll give you cut downs. Track cut downs are really cool. If you know you want to make a 30-second clip, you can take a 30-second version where it'll have the proper fade in and fade out at 30 seconds. Those are really nice. They have some songs have 10 seconds, 15 seconds. You can find exactly what you're looking for. And then you simply add it to your cart, and when you go to checkout, you will choose which license you want. If you choose the educational license or the YouTube license, it's totally free. You just have to cite where you got it from. So that's it. Go grab some sound files, drop them in your PowerPoints, play around with your animations, go add some magic to your show. Thank you once again for joining me for this very short, very quick episode of Teaching with Magic. We'll see you next time.